Hello everyone. So our next topic is directed graph, a representation, and there is one algorithm by the name of Warshall's or Floyd-Warshall algorithm. So we'll discuss this algorithm. So in graph theory, so most of the discussion was around about undirected graphs, and that we have finished. So there are some few discrete topics, so which are not linked with, which are not making any connectivity. So I'm just trying to cover those topics. So one of the topic was, so they have mentioned in first paragraph diagraph. So it is, and then in second paragraph they have mentioned Floyd-Warshall algorithm. So this Floyd-Warshall algorithm is actually linked with directed graph. So it is a small presentation. So I'm just starting directed graph. So as I explained in my first lecture, class lecture, this graphs. So these are usually used to give the pictorial representation of a relation. So I'm just again refreshing you. So what was a relation? So a relation on a set was a subset of A cross A. So A cross A is Cartesian product of A and A. So if A is 1, 2, 3, 4, then A cross A means ordered pairs of the form 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, and likewise 4, 1, 4, 2. So I'm defining two relations on this set A. So first relation is R1 and second relation is R2. First relation R1 is, so it is containing a pair AB if A divides B. So if first one, it divides second one. So 1, it is dividing every member. So 1, 1 is there, 1, 2 is there, 1, 3 is there, 1, 4 is there. Every member is dividing itself. So 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there, 4, 4 is there. There is one more relation that 2 is dividing 4. So it is a positive integer division. So now I'm not taking quotient as fractional number. Means 3 by 2. So it is not defined. So it is 4 by 2. So which is equal to 2. So in this way R1. So it is containing these elements. Now in R2, so I have defined another relation. So which is A plus B. So which is less than equal to 4. So A plus B less than equal to 4. So we are starting from 1. So it is 1, 1, which is less than equal to 4. So then 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3. So all these members are there. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Then starting from 2, so it is 2, 1. It is there. Then 3, 1 is there. So these are the members of this relation R2. Now we know there are two representations of these type of relations. So one is its matrix representation and other is its graphical representation. So if we see graphical representation of R1, so graphical representation of R1 is 1 is linked with 1, 1 is linked with 2, 1 is linked with 3. So 1 is linked with 1, so it is via this self loop. 1 is linked with 2, so it is this 1 is 2. So 1 is linked with 3, so 1 is linked with 3. So 1 to 4, 1 to 4. Then 2 to 2, self loop. Then 3, 3, self loop. And then this 2, 4 is there. And if we see this relation R2, so it is 1, 2. So 1, 2 is there. And then 2, 1 is there. 1, 3 is there. 3, 1. So just see, in first graph, so if you see, whenever AB is there, rather in second graph, so whenever AB is there, BA was also there. So this the type of condition is called symmetric condition. So R2 relation, it is a symmetric condition. 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 is there. 1, 3 is there, 3, 1 is there. So we can represent these type of relations even without using directions. Means whenever 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 is also there. So default meaning of 1, 2 is that 1, 2 is there and 2, 1 is also there. 1, 3 is there, 3, 1 is also there. But in case of relation R1, so if you want to show this relation 1, 4, so 1, 4 means it is not 1, 4 and 4, 1, both are equivalent. So it is only 1 which is dividing 4. So you can't show 1, 4 as simply this figure. So then you have to show which one is dividing. So 1 is dividing 4, so 1 is dividing 4. So default meaning of this arrow is that this first member, this side. So it represents first member and on the other side, towards the right of, you can the initial vertex and the terminal vertex. So initial vertex is 1 and this terminal vertex is 4. So relation is from 1 to 4. So it is A divides B, that means 1 divides 4. So if you are not showing, if you are showing direction from this side to this side, so it is 4 is dividing 1, so which was not there. So that's why, so every relation is not represented by this undirected graph. So there we use this type of graphs also. So these type of graphs are called directed graphs. So if we just compare, so it is the definition of directed graph. So a directed graph consists of two sets. So one is capital V and other is E. So V is set of vertices and E is set of edges. Now what is this connection between V and E? Because these two terms were also there in undirected graph. The difference is that this E and how this E and V are connected. So there exists a mapping psi that maps every edge onto some ordered pair of vertices. If you are using here word unordered pair of vertices, then it gives undirected graph. But when you are saying that every edge corresponds to some ordered pair of vertices, then it gives directed graph. So like I've taken one example. So just try to see the relationship from these graphs. So it is vertex A and then it is vertex B. So it is AB. So A is related to B. Then it is CB. Then A to C. So these type of edges are there. So this type of graph. So where arrows are being shown. So it is called a directed graph. So some terms are defined with respect to this directed graph. So one is the if you are showing one edge UV. So one edge UV means U is initial vertex and V is its terminal or end vertex. The initial and terminal vertex of a loop are same. So direction in a loop is not making any sense. So the sense is only for these type of edges. So where vertices are different. So then just like in undirected graph, there was a term degree of a vertex. Now where the term is in degree of a vertex. So in degree of a vertex means it is linked with number of edges, but those number of edges with V as the terminal vertex. So in degree means so the edges which are entering to a vertex. So the edges entering to a vertex, like in this vertex B. So what are the edges which are entering in this vertex? So it is 1, and how many entering are 2. So it is 1 and it is 2. So these edges are having their terminal edge as B. So therefore its in degree is B. So out degree B means so the number of edges whose initial point is initial vertex is B. So we have only one edge, so which is having initial vertex as B. So its out degree is B. So out degree is the number of edges with V as their initial vertex. Now similarly you can count another. And in case of loop, so it contributes 1 to both. So like in this A, so A is this out degree, and then this out degree 3, and because of this loop it is 4th. So 1, 2 and 3. So degree out is 4 and degree in, so 1 and then it is 2. So degree in is 2. So it is just you can say parallel to degree of a vertex, in degree and out degree. Another result, so which is parallel to undirected graph is, so there was one result called handshaking theorem. Sum of degrees of just 1 minute. Hello, कुछ नहीं सर, मैं ना किसी लेक्चर ले रहा हूँ यार अभी. Let in case of undirected graph, it was sum of degrees of vertices. It is equal to twice of number of edges. But in case of directed graph, so you can see, you can draw the parallel lines between directed and undirected graph. So here in case of undirected graph, so every edge, so that was contributing twice towards degree of vertex. So that's why, so twice of number of edges was equal to degree of vertex. So here every edge, it is contributing 1 towards degree of 1 towards in degree and 1 towards out degree of another vertex. and even if it is a loop, it is also contributing one towards in degree and one towards out degree. So in all, so sum of in degree of vertices, so it is equal to sum of out degree of vertices, and it is equal to number of edges. So this result is just like your handshaking theorem in case of undirected graph. So just revising, so it is directed graph. So directed graph is, there are some relations which are not symmetric, so they are best represented by some directed relations. So in directed relations, so we are showing these relations by directed arrows. So these arrows, initial point, initial vertex, that is initial called initial vertex, initial point, and the terminal point, it is called the terminal vertex. Then in degree, so it is in this case we are not defining degree of a vertex, so here the term is in degree and out degree. So in degree is with number of vertices, so which are entering to the vertex, and out degree which are leaving that vertex. So in degree is equal to out degree. So there are so many results so which are defined with respect to directed graph. In some books, even they have defined Euler graph, connectivity in the graphs in terms of these directed graphs. So for your knowledge sake, you can study all those literatures, but for examination point of view, so I think it was sufficient. And there is another algorithm. So for that algorithm, we need to see how these matrices are, how these graphs are represented using matrix representation. So like this graph is there, so it is containing 4 vertices. So for defining its adjacency matrix, so we need 4 by 4 matrix. So ABCD on this side and ABCD on this side. So these diagonal entries, so these are for the loops. So AA, BB, CC and DD. So at A there is no loop, so 0. At B there is loop, and C there is loop, so these are 1, 1, and then it is 0. Now this side A and this side B. So edge is from A to B, so it is A initial. So this side, so it is your initial, and this side it is terminal. So A to B edge is there, so we are showing 1. So A to C there is no edge, we are showing 0. So A to D no edge, so it is 0. And I'm just taking one more row. So like D to A, yes, D to A there is 1 edge, so we have to enter 1. From D to B there is no edge, so we are entering 0. And then from D to C there is no edge, 0. So from D to D there was no loop, so it is 0. So that is how we are representing matrix using matrices, these directed graphs. So another term is weighted graph. So weighted graph means, so some weights are assigned to these edges. So it is containing 4 vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again we need initial and then this terminal. So in these weighted graphs, so again loops are, if loops are not there, we are entering 0, 0, 0. Then if some like 1 to 0, 1 to 1, so 1 to 1, no loop, no path is there, so it is 0. So 1 to 2, its weight is 8. Now what is this infinity? So this infinity is from 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 there is no weight assigned, so we are entering infinity. So we may enter 0, or we may enter just simply hyphen here, but since we are going to apply this type of weighted graphs in some another calculation, so there undefined weight, or when the direct edge is absent, they are showing it by the infinity. So we are keeping this same notation. So it is infinity, infinity. So remember, so we are differentiating 0 from infinity. So 0 we are using for self loops, and infinity we are using for the direct paths. So if paths are not there, path is not present, then we are using this infinity. So what is this Floyd-Warshall's algorithm? Actually, Warshall algorithm was to judge transitivity in a relation. If a relation is transitive, then that was checked by using Warshall algorithm. So that comes in the topic of equivalence relations, when reflexive, symmetric, transitive. So that was one Warshall algorithm. So that Warshall algorithm, so that was Warshall was interested in the weaker question of reachability. That is to determine for each pair of vertices u and v whether there exists a path from u to v. So it was simply concerned with finding a path. So like in transitive relation, so if AC is there, CD is there, that means AD is also there. So this type of phenomena is occurring in your relations. So Warshall's algorithm was just these type of discussions, transitive type relations. And then Floyd, so he modified this Warshall algorithm. So he realized that with some modifications, so even we can compute the shortest path between two vertices. We have solved one algorithm to find shortest distance between two vertices. By Vyas's algorithm, we were finding distance between two vertices, between two assigned vertices. But this Floyd-Warshall algorithm, so it computes shortest distance between every pair of two vertices, like 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. So it is giving distance between every pair of two vertices, and it is for the directed graphs. So how we are going to apply this Floyd's Warshall algorithm? That is the main topic of this lecture. So what are the main lines of this Warshall algorithm? So step number 1 is, so since we are applying this Warshall algorithm for finding shortest path between two vertices, so there is no meaning of self loops. So what is meaning of self loop? One vertex is connected with itself, so there is no question of shortest distance. And then parallel edges means in same direction. If you are showing two vertices, so two vertices are connected by two edges, and edges are with the same direction. So that means these are called multiple edges. So these two are not multiple edges if direction is different. So only these two are multiple edges. So if these parallel edges are there and its weight is 4 and its weight is 6, you can simply relate it that there are two cities like A and B. They are connected by two roads, and these roads are with two different distances. So for finding shortest distance, so we have to select the edge, so which is with the minimum weight. So avoid this higher weight and always consider the lower. So first is remove all the self loops and parallel edges if they are existing from the graph. Then is, so there are 4 vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4. So its mechanism is we have to evaluate 5 matrices. So starting from the initial matrix, so we have to calculate 4 matrices, 4 by 4 matrices. So for the last one, so that will represent the shortest distance between every pair of two vertices. Now how we are going to get these 4 matrices, that you have to say carefully. So step number 2, so remove all the self loops or parallel edges. Now what is step number 2? So write the initial distance matrix. So what is initial distance matrix? Like 1, 2, so distance is 8. Like 1, 3, no direct edge. So it is the initial distance matrix. So on this side, so we are writing 1, 2, 3, 4. On this side, we are writing 1, 2, 3, 4. So just we are entering elements. So we are entering 0, 0, 0. Even if self loops are there, we are going to enter 0 only. We are removing those self loops. And if parallel edges are there, so we are taking the minimum one. That means we can even redraw the given graph with applying after modification of step number 1. But this graph is not containing any self loop or parallel edges, so we can ignore step number 1 for this graph. So first find the initial distance matrix. Yes, we obtained this distance matrix. So there are some conventions. So convention is for diagonal elements. So for diagonal elements, so we are entering 0. That means distance is 0 from one vertex to itself. For vertices having a direct edge between them, so distance value is equal to weight of that edge. So that is the main rule of writing this matrix. And for vertices having non-direct edge, so we are entering infinity. So that's why I have entered infinity in the last examples also. So there 0 means only for diagonal entries, and infinity means no path is there. So in this case, it is the first starting matrix. So this infinity means no direct edge is there. So you can see, just I'm focusing on one row. So like 3, 2, 1. So this side it is 3. So 3, 2, 1. So there is one edge. So with weight 4. So 3, 2, 1. It is 4. Then 3, 2, 2. So 3, 2, 2. There is no direct edge. So we are entering infinity. Then 3, 2, 3. 0. and then 3 to 4. So there is no edge. This edge is directed edge from 4 to 3. So from 3 to 4 there was no edge. So we have entered infinity. So I think there is no doubt up to this step. So it was D naught initial matrix from the graph itself. Now we are going to evaluate D1. Now what is this D1? So it is matrix D naught. So D naught is the given matrix. Now we will evaluate in the next slide. So it is D1. So now what is meaning of D1? So D1 means, so we can take advantage of vertex 1. Like we are connecting 1 with 1. So how can we take advantage of vertex 1? So you can't 1 to 1. So there is no advantage of vertex 1. So the advantage is in these cases, like 1 to I think in first row and in first column, so it hardly makes any difference. So because always 1 is involved, so there is no change in this first row and first column. The change is like this 2 3, yeah, 2 4. So in 2 4, so this term is infinity. So what is meaning of this infinity? This 2 to 4. So 2 to 4, there is no direct from 2 to 4. Now what is D1? So D1 is to search for the possibility that does there exist any path from 2 to 4 via 1. If from 2 to 4 you can take advantage of 1, so you can modify this value. So the next will be the modification of D naught. So modification is only if infinity is there and you are getting some non-zero value, or you are getting some lesser value. Means like here it was 9. So if you are getting some lower value, so like 4 to 3, so direct edge is 9. But can you get 4 to 1 and then 1 to 3? Only then you can modify this 9. If you are getting a number 9 or more than 9, then you can just retain this way. Once again, I am repeating this process. Only this point is important. So D naught, it is the starting matrix. So D1, it is a matrix obtained from D naught. What is meaning of this 1? So 1 means flexibility of. So that means, so you can introduce, if you want, you can introduce one intermediate vertex. That is 1. Means you can take help of this one vertex in reaching from one vertex to another vertex. Similarly, what will be D2? So D2 will be modification to D1 with the help of 2. Similarly, D3, that will be modification to D2, and then D4, that will be modification to D3. So I will clarify every point in next slide. So it is all D naught. So D naught is 1 2 3 4 1 2 0. So I've already explained. So what is Floyd-Warshall algorithm? So it employs successive evaluation of 4 matrices. So we have to find another 4 by 4 matrix called D1, so which indicates the shortest path between every pair of vertices with the advantage of 1 as the intermediate vertex. Means you can take help of vertex 1. Now how to take help of this one? As I already explained, in D1, first row and first column, it will remain same as that of D naught. First row and then this first column. So it is not going to be changed in D1. So how the entries are being changed, and diagonal entries also remain same. So it is equal to 0. So in D1, first row, first column and diagonal, so they are same. So what is our first probable changed entry? So it is not going to change, it is not going to change. So D0, it will remain there. The first entry is 2 3. Now we have to see so whether we should change this or not. So what is meaning of D23, D123? So D23 means, so do you want to take help of 1? So क्या meaning हुआ? So it is D naught. D1 we will write in the next phase. So in that D1 entry is 2 3. So this row will remain same, this row will remain same, diagonal entries will remain same. So now we are focusing on our first probable changed entry. So it is 2 3. So D1 2 3. So what is meaning of D1 2 3? So D1 2 3 means path between 2 and 3 with intermediate vertex 1. तो इसको लिखा हमने D naught 2 1 and then plus D naught 1. Now from D naught to 1, so 2 to 1. So does there exist a path from 2 to 1? That is 2 and then it is 1, so it is infinity. Then from 1 to 3, so it is, I think it should also be infinity. So from 2 to 1 there is no path, so it is infinity. And then again 1 to 3 there was no path, so it was also infinity. So that means, so there is no change. So no change means that direct as is sufficient. Now I'm taking this next next entry D132. So where is D132? So 32. So in D node this 32 was infinity. So 32 was infinity means there was no direct edge between 3 from 3 to 2. So 32. So D132 means D node 31 and D node 12. So D node 3 to 1. This side it is 3 and it is 1. So it is 3 to 1. So 3 to 1 we have 4. Yes, 3 to 1 we have 4, and we can take 4. And then it is from 1 to 2. So then 1 to 2. So it is 8. Yes, we are getting a non-zero number. We can modify. We will replace this value by 12. Again, see, there is one number D134. So where is 3, 4? So this number is 3 and this number is 4. 3, 4. So in D node, initial distance matrix, so there is no direct edge between 3 and 4. Now we'll see, can we modify this number? So D134 means D node 3, 1. So it is 3, 1. And then 1, 2, 4. So D node 3, 1. So 3, 1. Its number is 4. And then it is 1, 4. So that means 1. It simply implies path from 3 to 4. Yes, there is one path from 3 to 4. So 3 to 4 via 1. There is no edge from 3 to 4. You can see from 3 to 4 there is no path. But if we take advantage of 1, yes, we can connect this city with 4, like 3 to 1 and then moving from 1 to 4. So 3 to, but we don't need this diagram. We can just take help of this matrix, and then it is 4 plus 1, 5. So yes, we should modify this distance. So with this we'll get this matrix D node. So this matrix was D node, and from this matrix we have obtained this matrix. Now you have to simply apply same procedure. So it is D1. So in D1 0, now you find D2. So D2 means second row and second column. Second row and second column. So that these two rows and columns will remain unchanged. Then I am given one sample D2 4 3. So where is D2? So it is D2. It is 4 3. So D1 4 3. So D1 4 3 is 9. So it will be modified only if we are getting some higher number, lower number than 9. So 4 3 with the flexibility of 2. So that means D1 4 2. Yes, it is D1 4 2 and then D1 2 3. So 4 2 3 with the help of 2. So always it will be sum of two elements. So D1 4 2. So 4 and 2. So it was 2, and then it was 2 3. Yes, 2 3. It was 1. So then distance is 3. So earlier it was 9 and now it is 3. So yes, we must modify this number. So I think all the other entries are same. So only this number was modified. Now similarly in the next, so from D2, so we can find D3. So same case is there. So in D3, so what are the unchanged rows and columns? So third row and third column. So why these remain unchanged? Because it is with the flexibility of 3, with the flexibility of third. So when third is already there, so then we can avoid. So this third row and third column, so it remains unchanged. So then again I am showing one example. So D3 4 1. So D3 4 1 means connection between 4 and 1 with the flexibility of 3. So 4 to 1, so 4 to 3, and then 3 to 1. So 4 to 3, so 4 to 3, it was 3, and then 3 to 1, it was 4. So this number is 7. So earlier number 4 1 was infinity, and now you are getting 7. So yes, we must modify. Then the last matrix D4. So what is D4? With the introduction of four matrix. Okay. So I'm giving one example. So like connection between 3 and 2 with the flexibility of 4. So you can choose if you want 4 as the intermediate vertex. So where is D332? So D332. So this number is 12. So see, can we modify this number? So it is D432. So 32. So 324, and then from 4 to 2. So D34. So 3, and this number is 4. So it is 5, and then it is 4 2. So it is 4, and then it is 2. So it is equal to 2. So some number is 7. So this 7. So yes, D4 3 2. So D 3 2 means this 3, and then it is 2. So it was 12, and now we're getting 7 number. Yes, we must modify. Now, with the help of this algorithm, so we have obtained our last matrix D4. So it is over D4. Now you can verify how it is giving the shortest distance. See, I'm just taking 1 2 entries. So like this one, this entry is 3. So what is meaning of this entry is 3? That shortest distance from 1 to 2. So it is 1, and then it is 2. So 1 to 2. So if you see, the direct edge is 8, but this distance is 3. That means we can avoid this lengthy route. This route is via 8 miles or 8 kilometers, but there is another option. So what is that option? Can you identify that path? So yes, it is not giving that path. You have to keep track of all those vertices, but if you can see, it is you can verify yes, this answer is correct or not. So from 1 to 4 you can take this path 1, and then from 4 to 2 you can choose this path. So in this way you can reach at this vertex. So it is 4. Like 1 2 3. So it is 1, and it is 3. So there was no path between 1 to 3. So it is showing, but it is showing 4. So 1 2 3, it is 4. Now you can calculate how it is. 1 2 3 is 4. Yes, it is 1 2 4 1, but there is direct edge is 9. So it should have been 1 plus 9 10. No. So it has optimized this number. So that means 1 to 4, and then 4 to 2, and then it is coming from 2 to 3. That is the best part of this algorithm, because there was no connection between 1 and 3. The one visible connection was 1 to 4 and then 4 to 3. That was with 10 weight. But if we use this optimal route, so 1 to 4 and then 4 to 2 and then 2 to 1. So then we can cut short this path, and this path is with length 4. So similarly you can verify that every, like 4 to 3 it is 3, 3 to 2 it is 7. So it is giving distance between every pair of two vertices. So it is not giving like your Rastra's algorithm, the shortest distance between two vertices. So it is giving the shortest distance between every pair of two vertices. So we are left with just one or two discrete type topics. So I will engage you only on Thursday or Tuesday in every week. So I will give you the message just one day before that. If you have any doubts, any questions, you can ask, or you can send me as a message. Yes, you can ask any doubt. I have unmuted all of you, so you have 1 or 2 minutes. You can ask any doubt. So if you have.
No, sir, no doubt.
Thank you. Thank you.